Welcome everybody. So last time in January 2021 I said if this video, the Fortune Ladies versus 5 meta decks, reach 20 likes, I will do a deck review. And right now this video has reached 23 likes. And even in the comments, so let's scroll down in the comments. That's a cool, great greetings from a Fortune player to you. I'm not a Fortune player, so thanks for the comment. Wow, I didn't expect Fortune Ladies to play so well. Well done. Thank you, Koopa, yeah. What deck you used? Can you make a review? I really want to try to make a Fortune Lady deck, and I need some help. What works fine with them? YK. I don't know what YK means, so that just send the YK file. So, no, this JDK file. Whatever. Okay, so we reached the goal. What I meant. So we'll be doing this for the future decks as well. So if I would be doing this for like a small introduction, like if we reach 20 likes, then you get a deck review. Okay, so now let's close this and let's get to the deck. It's been a while since I played a deck, and I'm not a Fortune player deck, but I'll try to memorize how I built this deck and everything. So let's go first with each card I play in the deck, and then I'll tell you about some combos. Maybe I left one or two out, but yeah, it is what it is. And the side deck is not complete. It's just I put some cards that you can play, because with each meta these days you have to change your side deck small. So but it's like some cards you can play in your side deck, but you don't necessarily. But this one is strong, the Secret Village of the spellcasters. Yeah, if you play against Anti, okay, you can play Royal Decree. That's what I'm just saying. Okay, let's get to this straight to the deck list. Okay, Silent Magician level 8. 1. You play 1. You play Fortune Lady Dark 1. You play 2 Silent Magicians. You play 2 Water Fortune Lady, 3 Ash Blossoms, 3 Fortune Lady Light, and 3 Fortune Lady Past. Then you play 1 for 1, 1 Harpy Faded Dust, 3 Spellbook of Knowledge, 1 Spellbook of Power, 3 Tactical Talents, 3 Fortune Lady Calling, 1 Fortune Lady Future, 3 Spellbook of Secrets, 1 Called by Grave because it's limited. If it wasn't limited, you would play 3. 1 Spellbook of Fate, 3 Fortune Lady Vision, 2 Spellbook Tower, 3 Infinite Permanence, and 3 Solemn Strike. For the extra deck, we got 1 Trushula, 1 Beelzebub, whatever I call it, Beelzebub, 1 Arknight, 1 F8 Dragster, 2 Fortune Lady every 1 HTS, 1 TG Hyper Librarian, 1 Formula Synchro, 1 Celeste, 1 Black Luster, 2 Magical Splendid Magical Knight, 1 Link Kuriro, and 1 Salaman Great Almiria, and the side deck already said. So that's what just the deck I was just naming, but now we are going through the details. So the first card you see is the Silent Magician level 8. So his conditions like cannot be summoned or set, must be special summoned by Silent Magician level 4, and cannot be special summoned by any other way, unaffected by opponent spells. So he got 3.5k attack. That's nice. So he's easy to summon. So his effect is basically he cannot be summoned, normal summon. You can only special summon him by tributing 1 spellcaster. All the Fortune Ladies are spellcasters, and for the Synchro as well, but most likely you're going to tribute this one or this one, yeah, or this one, yeah. And he gets 500 attack for each card in your hand, and once per turn during other player's turn, you can negate a spell. That's also can be very effective. Did I miss something else? Oh yeah, and when he gets destroyed by card effect or battle, you can special summon the silent message monster from your deck, uh, and ignoring his conditions. So you're just going to ignore it. So with him, you're going to special summon him. This one says Silent Magician level 4, but this is Silent Magician, so he is going to, or she is going to summon him or that card. Because this is not Silent Magician level 4, this is just the Silent Magician. So if this card gets destroyed by battle or card effect, you're going to instantly summon the big one. Actually, his effect is a bit stronger than him, but still, you got a beat stick there, 3.5k. Most likely you're going to destroy by battle some cards. Maybe you can't overrun. It can be a good card. Okay. Then we got Fortune Lady Dark. So when you summon her, she gets instantly 2k attack and death because she gets 400 attack for each star she has, and each turn or each standby phase she's going to increase her level by 1. So she's most likely when you summon in that turn, she has 2000 attack, but you can increase your stars with some cards as well, like the Fortune Lady pass. So, and his effect is like when a Fortune Lady monster destroys an opponent's monster, any of them, so her effect can trigger multiple times in a turn, so in a better phase anyway. So you can special summon a Fortune Lady from your graveyard, so you can have a full battlefield if you're doing a comeback turn or something. She's good, but she's not the card you use to turn the game. Maybe when you have a better field, then she kind of brings some thing to turn in the turn. So she can easily be summoned by this card, Fortune Lady Light. Or this is you adding to the hand. No, with this card as well, you special summon a Fortune Lady different than you control. I think that the only 2 conditions we have to summon her, but it's easy. It's not that hard to summon her. Just for adding, yeah. These are the 2 cards you use to add her. And which target any number of banished Fortune Lady, special summon them. Oh, okay, this is another chance. Okay, yeah, I just read it because a long time I look at the deck. But target any number of your banished Fortune Lady with different names, special summon them, but shuffle them during the end phase into your deck. Can only, yeah, that's also rewind. It's also very strong. It's like a feeling of return the banished one. I know end of turn they're going back to your deck, but it's still a very strong card. It's feeling like a different version of the return of the return that got bad. Then we got Fortune Lady Water, one of the most important Fortune Lady that makes this deck actually running, because her effect is also not once per turn. So every time she gets special summoned, you can draw 2 cards if you control another Fortune Lady card. So the comps are like if you have this card on the field and you use, well, you need 2 cards. Okay, if you have this card and you use this card to special summon her, then you can use this card to draw to send her into graveyard. And there are some comps I left out, but that's how the comps slowly starts, and you can special summon back from the graveyard to the field with her in the battle phase if you get her. And you can draw another 2 cards. And this one does not say except during the damage step. It's every time she gets best summoned. Azure Blossom, you know, the stun card just to negate your opponent from search. This one is also very important. When this card leaves the field, when? Well, it's a master effect, so it cannot lose its timing. So when, this one does not lose her timing. Okay. I thought with if condition you don't lose your timing, but this one does not lose her timing. So this card combining with this card, for example, you can draw 2 cards, and then her effect triggers. Then you're going to special summon 1 more Fortune Lady from your deck. And I think there's a more trigger condition. Well, this is what drawing. I thought there would be more. Yeah, you can use this effect as well. You can target one fortune lady you control, banish any number of spellcasters from hand, field, and graveyard. If you do, increase the monster. So you can banish with her effect the light as well and get the light effect triggered. So you can special summon Fortune Lady from your deck as well. Now we are already talking about past. Everything is connected to the past. So the Fortune Lady past. Every deck, also I didn't mention, but every Fortune Lady has the effect. They get XY amount attack for each star they have. So this one is a 1 star gets 200 attack. So this should be getting 300 attack here for each star they have. And about Fortune Lady pass, like I said, you can target one Fortune Lady you control, banish any number of spell monsters, not Fortune Lady, spell monsters from your hand, field, and or graveyard. If you do, increase or reduce that monster level of the banished monster until the end of this turn. So it's good effect to banish either cards from your graveyard, maybe hand, or maybe from your field, just to trigger some different Fortune Ladies effect. Because sometimes you need banish cards for either you want to banish to later activate the trap card, or you want to target one of your banished Fortune Ladies, send them back to the graveyard and draw 2 cards. So this is another combo. So that's how you can draw more cards with the Fortune Future. You just play one because you can play more if you want, but just of consistency's sake, I play one. Then we got, yeah, the spell book. The spell book makes this deck strong. Without the spell box, this deck is not that consistent. You have to play the spell box counterparts, not counterparts, but it's making this deck more complete. It's like playing spell box but with better spells. So this is more special summon, control, not control, special summon and drawing. Maybe you could play Yaogin, maybe not, no. You're special summon too much. You're actually winning the game with the Synchro and Link summon. So yeah. So send a spellcaster you control or a spell book from your hand or face up to the graveyard and draw 2 cards. You can use knowledge once per turn. It's actually very good. Gives you some more draw engine to come back in the game. Maybe draw something special or get more of the trap cards or different draw conditions. So this deck is actually, you draw a lot, but draw a lot bird is actually stunning this deck. That's why I said earlier, if we could play 3 Combat Brave, we would have played it, because there are lots of hand traps in this current game. So you have to play something against it. So that's why we play the triple threat. If they play a hand trap, maybe they play Azure Blossom. Now we can activate triple tactical talents. Guys, the threat TTT and draw 2 cards, or use the other effects. Look at your opponent's hand, choose 1 card, shuffle them back to the deck. That's also very dangerous. You can also use that effect, or take control of one of your opponent's monster till at the end of the turn. So this card is very strong, and it's just expect to fight against all the hand traps, and most of the time you're going to draw many cards, so this one is not going to stuck on your hand. If you don't play any hand traps, we are good. This card is, yeah, it's kind of lost, but it is what it is. So we play the Spellbook of Power, giving a spellcaster monster 1000 attack, and each time that destroys opponent monster, you can add. So most of the time, I don't think there's any time where the spellcaster of my set can attack twice in a battlefield, battle phase. Wait, come on, battle phase. Okay. And yeah, this is only after 1 turn this effect loose, so that's why I said there's no chance of the attacks. But you will get 1000 attack. You can overrun most monsters. After you destroy that monster, you're going to search. The monster does not land to grave. Doesn't need to be landing onto the grave. You can land anywhere it wants. It can be a token, whatever. You just need to destroy that monster, and then you can search any spellbook card, a spell trap. You can spellbook spell. Okay, not card. Spellbook spell. We play only spellbook spells anyway. So you can add knowledge. Most of the sometimes I add either fate or the tower to recycle. Or if you already have the tower, we're going to search for fate. Fate, you know fate, what fate does. You can banish any amount of spellbooks, and well, up to 3 of course. So if you banish only 1, you can return 1 set trap spell or trap from your from the field to the hand. If you banish 2, you can change 1 monster to face down. Or if you banish 3, you can banish 1 card your opponents control that, and it's not targeting. So all those monsters say they can be targeted. Fate does not care about that because it's not targeting. So you activate it, your opponent, if he doesn't react, you banish the monster or the card or whatever it's annoying you. But seeing this deck list and seeing the fate, I'm still thinking maybe we should play 1 spellbook of what is the name? Spellbook, I forgot his name. Let me check it. I'll put it in the side deck for now. Spellbook of eternity. Yeah, the eternity. Because if we banish something with fate, how do we get the resource back? This one target one of your banished fortune ladies. Else, I don't think we have any access to the banished cards. Yeah, I think we'll play 1 eternity just for, yeah. Maybe this makes the decks inconsistent. I'll try it out, but I think 1 eternity is not harming this deck. I've added just not to the deck list. Okay. This is also one of the important cards, Fortune Lady's Calling. So if you control a Fortune Lady monster, special summon 1 Fortune Lady from your deck with a different name. Also for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon monsters except for synchro monsters. So if you use this, you cannot special summon from your extra deck, So you can still do special summon, but you can only do synchro summons. So you can't do any link summon, any XYZ or whatever it's out there. You can only do synchro summons for the extra deck, but you still can do normal special summons when you use this card. Yeah. So if you start with any of those 1-star Fortune Ladies, you special summon the water, you draw 2 cards. Easy. So it's +1. You activate 1 card, you get 2 new cards. And with two new cards, you can draw many draw factors. Of course, they can be blocked by Ash Blossoms and so on. But I'm just saying you have multiple ways in this deck to draw cards. So this deck is mostly draw engine deck. We could have played the other pots, but we don't need to play the pots because the pots are stopping us from drawing cards. You don't play the pot of duality, we need to special summon. You don't play the pot of prosperity, it stops us from drawing cards. And you don't play the pot, what's the third pot? Let me check. Pot of Deuteronomy. No, that's not the one I'm talking about. Pot of, what is that name? Pot, I had it in my pot of average, extravagance. You don't play it as well because you can't draw after this. Yeah. You could play the pot, no, not desire, that's harming the deck. You could play the pot of avarice if you want to, but you're not playing that many monsters, and yeah. You could play to recycle your extra deck. But as I said, we need the graveyard later on for Fortune Lady Dark, so you can special summon from your graveyard. The banished ones, you need them because of Fortune Future or Fortune Rewind and Fortune Lady Rewind. And yeah, Goldberg Grave already talked, Faith. So Fortune Vision is also a very strong card. So the first one, you can add 1 Fortune Lady card from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, if you control, if a card you control is banished by effect, you can activate this turn. Monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Once, okay, even if this card leaves the field. Once per turn, if a card your opponent controls is banished by a card effect, you can make the next battle damage you take become 0. Okay, I was just read it because I didn't have it in mind what the other two effects were. So you reduce the damage on your side, basically. Tower, just to recycle you during your standby phase, you put one of your spellbooks under your deck and you draw one more card. So it's a very good card. And also when it gets drawn, you can special summon spellbook monster or a spell. Let me check. When this card destroys, special summon spellcaster from your deck or hand, according to the spellbook in your graveyard. So if this card gets destroyed, you can and you don't have any other spellbooks, you can special summon one of those 1-star. So we play 2, so we can actually, when one gets destroyed, it cannot recycle itself. Okay, yeah, this one cannot, except for spellbook tower. You cannot recycle another tower. If you destroy both towers, we couldn't done anything. But now, with Eternity, you can use Fate to banish one of the towers, and if you get the hands on the Eternity, we got the tower back. So we can recycle the tower. That's why I decided to play the Eternity just right now during the review. Now more stun cards to stop your opponent impermanence and Solemn Strike. You can play Solemn Warning or Solemn Judgment if you want to. This is not a must deck review. This is just of my vision how I play the deck. Maybe I'll change some cards in between them as well, because this deck list is actually from January. But I have to play more of the deck, study a little, and then I'll put out the November 2021 deck list for Fortune Ladies against the current meta. For the extra deck, yeah, we got yeah, you can spec summon with any monster with lower than 1000 attack, those most likely. And this one for level 1 monster, we play 6 of them. This one also very strong. You need also 2 spellcasters. All of them are spellcasters except for Ash Blonson. And if a spellcaster monster is best summoned to his zone he's targeting to, place 1 spell counter. And one thing, if this card is link summons, place 1 spell counter on it. It gains 300 for each spell counter. So it starts with 1900. So if you special summon, okay, needs to be special summon spellcaster on the zones he's targeting to, he gets another counter. So you need to special summon one more time, and then you can remove 2 counters to destroy 1 card on the field, not destroying 1 spell like the Breaker. This one is better than the Breaker. You destroy 1 card on the field. So I played twice of them because we most likely playing all spellcasters. And we got the BLS as Link version. You know what he does, but he needs to have a level 7 or higher monster, so your opponent cannot target him by card effects. So that's going to most likely with the Silent Magician, or with this one gets enough stars, or the others can also get enough stars. Then we play the extra deck. We got Trishula. You know what Trishula does: banish 1 card from your hand, from your opponent's hand, graveyard, battlefield, battlefield, yeah. And this all are not targeted. And that on the hand will choose randomly. There we go. Bells, the bulb or bells. This card can, if you take any damage, if you take any damage from an attack involving this card, or from your opponent card, this gains equal attack to the damage you took. Yeah, so this one can overcome monsters as well. So if this card has 3000, it has 3000, the opponent card has 5000, attack it, you get 2000 damage, so this card gets 5000 attack, so the next turn he can overcome. And this one cannot destroy by card effects or battle. That's why I said you can attack 5k monster, because he's going to survive. But he can be targeted by card effects, so yeah. But this card can be very good in Yang Sing, because you got a card where it cannot be targeted by card effects, I think, or no, I messed something, but it cannot be triggered by spell traps. But yeah. Anyway, then we got the Arcanite Magician. He just comes with 2 counters. You can remove 1 counter and destroy 1 card on the field. So he comes with 2 counters. For each counter gets 1000 attacks, but most likely you just play in death position because you're going to remove the 2 counters in 1 turn, most likely, or not. You can remove this not once per turn, those spell counters. Oh, your boy. That's what I was going to check. You can remove 1 spell counter on your field. And he is generating spell counters. The same thing. So, you can use the Arcanite effect to remove spell counters from him and destroy 1 card. So he has to remove 2, but he can remove 1 and does the same thing. So that's another comp. If you get the 7 stars out with him at the same time, you can destroy also many cards. And if a Dragster is there to negate spell traps, he also gets attack according to his stars, so 300 for each star. To his level, so he's level 7, he has 2100 attack. Once per turn, if your opponent activates a spell trap or card effect of the spell trap, you can reduce this level by 2. If you do, negate the activation and destroy that card. Right now, I don't play any cards in this deck where I can increase this level. So, you can negate up to 3 times because it's 7 star. Then we play the Fortunately Every. This card becomes 400 for each star. Once per turn during your sample phase, increase this level by 1, max to 12 for each Fortune Lady. I didn't say the max, 12. Then you can banish 1 with increased level. Then you can banish 1 card your opponent control. During your opponent's end phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish other spell monsters from your graveyard. Wait, what? During your opponent's end phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish other spell monsters from your graveyard, then special summon this card. You can use this only once per turn. I don't summon her often because it's a long time I played this deck, but it's a good deck, a good card. That's why I'm decided to play her. So you can basically ban it from the graveyard, but not from the field. So you ban it from the graveyard, so you get the trigger for the Fortune Future and the Rewind, and she's coming back. Then we play GG Hyper Librarian. You know what he does, is spellcaster, 1 for once, and for each synchro summon you draw 1 card. Yeah, that's actually strong. And we play 10 synchros, like over half of the extra deck, so we have to play them. Fortune Formula Synchro, when you get summoned, you can draw 1 card, and you can synchro summon during your opponent's main phase. Can be used to dodge some cards effects and so on. Then we play the Celeste. When this card is synchro summoned, you special summon up to 4 level 2 non-tuner monsters from your hand. Up to 4 level 2 non-tuner from your hand, and your graveyard in defense position. You can... Okay, wait, this does not make sense, because when this card is synchro summon, you can special summon up to 4 level 2 non-tuner monsters from your hand. This does not make sense. I don't have any level 2 monster. Maybe I just play him because he's tuner. That's a mark on me, because I don't see why should I play him. Maybe it was a different deck, okay. And the rest I already explained. So that's it with the deck review for the Fortune Ladies monster. I know it was kinda bit like I was trying to memorize how this deck is played as well. But this is the deck review, and if you play against any heavy spell decks, you can put in one or two secret village. You can also play the other spell that where you can how you call it, place two in the extra deck as well. Place two spells, one side on your side, another. So you will get the secret village and they will get the spellbook of tower, but they can really actually do something with the spellbook of tower. Anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching and bye.